Math with Mr. Williams, example 1. Making a scatter plot. The table shows the ages of 10 adults and the numbers of gigabytes of cell phone data used by each adult in 1 month. Make a scatter plot of the data, identify any outliers, gaps, or clusters. So we know from any table, if we're going to go ahead and make a graph for it, this is going to be in format X and Y. So in other words, when we write that, it's going to be X, comma, Y. So then we can just basically go straight down this table and make these all into ordered pair. All right, so now once we understand that, let's go ahead and graph them. So the first one is 37, comma, 3.2. So we start at the origin, move to the right to 37, and up to where 3.2 should be. All right, and on to the next one, we have 30 and 3.3. So we start at the origin, move to 30, and then up to 3.3. Next, we have 32 and 3.1. Start at the origin, move to the right to 32, and up to 3.1. Next, we have 65 and 9/10. So we start at the origin, move to where 65 is, and then up to 0.9. Then 53 and 1.8, then 25 and 3.5, 59 and 1.3, 30 and 1.8, 50 and 1.9, and lastly 34 and 3.3. Okay, and we can kind of see that it has a negative correlation and see if there's any outliers. Of course, we do have an outlier at 30 and 1.8. You can see he's away from all the other dots. See if there's any clusters. And I see we have a cluster up here from about 25 to 37 years old. But it looks like I have a gap right in this area here between 37 and 50 years old. Okay, so I've made my scatter plot and identified any outliers, gaps, and clusters. Math with Mr. Williams, example 2, identifying relationships. Describe the relationship between the data and the scatter plot. So here we have television size compared to the price. As we look at the dots on the graph, we can see they appear to be making a line and a positive slope. So as x increases, the y value increases. This shows a positive linear relationship. Math with Mr. Williams, example 3, interpreting a scatter plot. The scatter plot shows the amounts x in grams of sugar and the numbers of y of the calories in 10 smoothies. How many calories are in the smoothie that contains 56 grams of sugar? Okay, so let's go over to our graph. Let's find where we believe 56 is. All right, it's going to be between 54 and 58. I'm going to march up. And I see that's going to line up right with the 270. So 270 calories. All right, B, how many grams of sugar are in the smoothie that contains 320 calories? All right, let's go over to 320 on the calorie side. All right, and I'm going to march across, and then I'm going to go downward until I find my result for sugars, and that would be 70 grams of sugar. Okay, C, what tends to happen to the number of calories as the number of grams of sugar increases? So as the number of grams of sugar increases, what happens to the calories? Well, they are also increasing. You can see that by that positive linear relationship. Math with Mr. Williams. Example 4. Identifying correlations. Describe the relationship between the data in each scatter plot. So here we have age and vehicles owned. All right, so if you notice, all the dots are pretty much spread all the way out. So there is no correlation. There's basically no pattern shown. All right, for the next one, we have temperature and coat sales at a store. So here we can see the dots are literally heading in the downward direction, making this a negative linear correlation. These points are lying close to a line. As x increases, the y decreases.